I'm Dr. Robert, and today I have the privilege of talking with someone I deeply respect. Not only as a doctor, but as a thinker who constantly challenges what we assume about nutrition and health. Dr. Shigeaki, thank you for being here. Thanks, Robert. It's always great to be here. Today's episode might surprise some people because we're not diving into some exotic superfood or the latest supplement trend. We're talking about something simple: walnuts. But not in the way most people expect. Exactly. Most people already know that walnuts are healthy, they're good for the heart and support brain function. That's common knowledge. But what's not so widely known is this: eating exactly 6 walnuts a day, consistently, for just 7 days, can create noticeable changes throughout the body. I'm talking real changes: deeper sleep, smoother digestion, a more stable mood, and even more consistent energy throughout the day. These aren't dramatic transformations, but subtle shifts that build momentum, especially for anyone struggling with fatigue, stress, or restless nights. Today we'll explore how such a small, targeted habit, just 6 walnuts, can signal the body not just to absorb nutrients, but to recalibrate certain systems when done at the same time every day. It's a simple, almost effortless practice, but if done correctly, it can produce surprising results in just 1 week. If you're curious to see how your body responds, stay tuned. And don't forget to subscribe to the Dr. Shigeaki podcast so you never miss another episode packed with real, practical health strategies. Most people glance at a walnut and think of it as just another healthy snack. But when you really examine what's inside 6 walnuts, it becomes clear. This is no ordinary nut. Inside those small shells is a rare mix of nutrients that work with your body's systems in a way that is both gentle and powerful. That's an important point. Too often, we overvalue complexity and underestimate simplicity. Walnuts naturally support balance. They contain healthy fats, particularly plant-based omega-3s, high-quality plant protein, fiber, antioxidants, and minerals that are essential for nerve function and energy metabolism. This isn't just nutrition, it's a form of communication. The nutrients work together. Polyunsaturated fats, especially alpha-linolenic acid, help modulate inflammation and maintain cell membrane health. Fiber helps digestion run smoothly. Protein supports tissue repair, muscle maintenance, and stabilizes blood sugar after meals. These elements form a chain reaction, and that's before we even consider polyphenols, plant compounds that boost resilience in the body, support immune function, and help with cellular renewal. Eating 6 walnuts is like pressing a reset button. Not aggressively, but quietly and repeatedly. And that repetition is key. Many people try health interventions that are extreme or inconsistent. They fast one day and binge the next. Take high-dose supplements for a few days, then stop. The body doesn't thrive on chaos. It thrives on rhythm. That's what 6 walnuts a day provides: a consistent, manageable signal. In traditional Eastern medicine, we emphasize micro-adjustments. A small daily habit, if done at the right time, can realign deeper imbalances. It's not about adding more. It's about giving the body a signal it can clearly interpret. Timing matters. Eating the same thing at the same time each day creates predictability, which helps regulate hormones, digestive enzymes, and neurotransmitter cycles. Over time, your body doesn't just absorb nutrients, it prepares for them and responds more efficiently. Unlike many health trends, this doesn't require a lifestyle overhaul. No expensive devices, no complicated prep, no disruption to your routine. You don't need to track macros or measure portions. Just 6 walnuts, chewed slowly and mindfully, preferably around the same time each day. Smaller doses are better for absorption. Eating a large amount of something healthy all at once can overwhelm the body. 6 walnuts give you benefits without taxing digestion or overloading your system. This is why the practice is sustainable. It's not only nutritionally smart, but behaviorally smart. You're far more likely to stick with something that takes 30 seconds a day than a complicated routine that requires constant planning. Over weeks, those small actions add up to meaningful transformation. More than anything, this is about consistency over intensity. Walnuts aren't magic, but when used this way, they become functional. A daily signal your body can rely on, a trigger for calm, focus, and steadier internal function. Health isn't built on extremes. It's built on the ordinary done consistently. 6 walnuts every day. Quiet, predictable, and powerful. To understand this habit, let's start with day 1. Most people assume nothing noticeable happens the first time they eat 6 walnuts. But the body is already paying attention. Within a few hours, it starts responding to this nutrient-dense input as more than just food. It registers it as a signal. The digestive system is the first to respond. Walnuts' natural oils and fiber coat the stomach lining, slow the release of sugars from other foods, and gently trigger bile release. This makes digestion smoother and more balanced. Even the first morning, people often notice a sense of lightness. Not because walnuts are low in calories, but because they help the gut work more efficiently. Meals that follow feel less heavy, energy feels steady, and cravings for sugar or salty snacks tend to fade. That fading of cravings isn't a coincidence. The combination of fat, fiber, and protein stabilizes blood sugar and neurotransmitter release. The body doesn't feel deprived, it feels deeply nourished. This calm state is the first sign that the body is registering something new. And here's where we talk about memory. Not cognitive memory, but biological memory. The body begins tracking this input. The nervous system takes note. The microbiome shifts slightly. Hormones like ghrelin and leptin, which regulate hunger, start to adjust. Day 1 isn't about dramatic change. It's about signaling. You're teaching the body, here's something you can expect every morning. Regularity becomes a form of nutritional communication. It's quiet, but it works. When this happens at the start of the day, it sets the tone. The gut-brain axis, the communication highway between your intestines and nervous system, picks up on this rhythm. Energy stabilizes, thoughts feel clearer, and even breathing becomes more intentional. There's also a subtle shift in how the body prepares for the next meal. After receiving high-quality fats and antioxidants first thing, it becomes more selective in metabolizing what comes later. You're not just feeding the body, you're shaping how it receives food all day long. The body is constantly learning. Every bite, every meal is instruction. Day 1 of the walnut habit teaches the gut to slow down, the brain to stabilize, and hormones to regulate with less effort. This is why we don't rush into big changes. One small, consistent habit gives the body space to adapt intelligently, not with stress, but with ease. That adaptation begins almost immediately, even if you don't notice it consciously. Observe with openness. After eating your 6 walnuts in the morning, notice, how does your stomach feel? Are you snacking less? Does your focus last longer? These signals matter. They show the body is listening. And being aware of them strengthens the habit. When you notice lightness, calm, and stability, you naturally repeat the action. That's how behavior becomes lifestyle. By day 3 or 4, something shifts. Effects are still subtle, but your internal rhythm feels steadier. You wake up more alert, sleep is less fragmented, and mood is calmer. These aren't flashy changes, but they're meaningful. The body is learning to trust the signal. Regular intake of nutrients, especially healthy fats and amino acids, starts influencing neurotransmitter balance. Melatonin, serotonin, and dopamine regulate more efficiently. Walnuts don't force alertness or drowsiness. They support the body. Internal systems that were slightly off begin to align. Sleep often improves first. Falling asleep is easier, staying asleep is less of a struggle, and waking up feels restorative. Alongside this, emotional steadiness emerges. Mood swings lessen, stress triggers feel less overwhelming. This stability is biochemical, a natural result of consistent nourishment at a neurological level. When we eat the same food at the same time daily, the body builds a rhythm. Hormones, enzymes, and neural patterns adjust to this new normal. You're creating a reference point the body can rely on. You end up using a lot of energy just fixing internal imbalances. When your body becomes more efficient, that energy is freed up to use throughout the day. It's not about sudden bursts of power. It's about quieting the internal noise. Your thinking becomes clearer, your movement steadier, and fatigue fades into the background. Days 3 and 4 mark the start of real cooperation with your metabolism. You're not just fueling your body anymore, you're working with it. There's less friction, digestion becomes smoother, hunger feels more predictable, and most importantly, your body starts responding in patterns. What I find most remarkable is how subtle these changes are. They don't scream at you, but if you're paying attention, you feel them. A sense of ease emerges where there was tension before. These are the signs that change is actually happening, not as a theory, but as a real experience. That's the beauty of this stage. You're no longer testing a habit, you're stepping into a natural rhythm. What started as an experiment turns into a conversation between you and your biology. And that conversation doesn't need dramatic gestures. It grows through trust and consistency. This is the turning point. Stop here, and your body slowly drifts back. Keep going, and the effects multiply. What's happening now is foundational. It's shaping how your body absorbs nutrients, balances hormones, and spreads energy across the day. We always say that health isn't about one big moment. It's built through the accumulation of small, steady actions. Days 3 and 4 remind us that meaningful change doesn't have to feel extreme. It just has to be consistent enough for your body to notice and respond. Moving into days 5 through 7, the quiet changes you started to notice begin to grow. Many people report a sense of digestive ease that wasn't there before. Meals feel lighter, bloating and discomfort lessen, and the way your body processes food becomes more predictable. Hunger cues stabilize too. You feel fuller longer after meals, and sudden energy crashes, especially those that trigger sugar cravings, happen less often. Your body isn't just fed, it's regulated. That's a big difference. With blood sugar levels staying more even, mental focus improves. Concentration lasts longer without wandering, and tasks that once felt mentally draining now feel doable. It's not an instant brain boost, it's a gentle sharpening. By this stage, many people notice mood swings leveling out, and their energy feels steady. The classic afternoon slump around 2 or 3 p.m. often fades. Instead of pushing through fog, they just keep moving forward with consistent alertness and less struggle. Progress like this can make you wonder, is this really happening? Skepticism is natural when results come from something simple. When a small habit, like eating 6 walnuts a day, leads to better focus, calmer nerves, and smoother digestion in just 1 week, it almost seems too easy. Even I sometimes pause and think, are these benefits just placebo? But the answer lies in repetition. Giving your body the same nutritional signal at the same time each day allows systems to sync up. The gut becomes more efficient, the brain uses less energy managing stress, and overall metabolic load decreases. These aren't imagined results, they're real physiological responses to consistency. We often overlook the power of small habits because we overestimate how much intensity is needed. Your body doesn't demand extremes, it thrives on manageable, repeated support. By day 7, that support becomes a new baseline. You're no longer remembering to eat walnuts. You expect them. Your body has adjusted, and you've started to trust the process. The proof isn't in lab results. It's in how you feel throughout the day. Once you feel that, continuing the habit becomes easy. Short-term changes create long-term commitment. Clear digestion, steady energy, sharper thinking. When you experience these, no extra convincing is needed. 7 days is often enough to build belief, not because everything changes, but because something does. Momentum becomes self-sustaining. You've shown yourself that one small act, done consistently, can produce real improvements, and that belief is powerful. When you realize you don't need extreme diets or exhausting routines to feel better, your approach to health shifts. It becomes about alignment, not control, nourishment, not restriction. That move from effort to rhythm sets the stage for lasting change. In just 1 week, 6 walnuts a day can do more than support your body. They can rebuild trust in your body's ability to respond, heal, and adapt quietly, efficiently, and consistently. After covering the physical changes possible in 7 days, it's worth asking, why does something so simple work? Why can just 6 walnuts make such a noticeable impact? At first glance, the habit seems unremarkable. No planning, no restriction, no willpower test. And that's exactly why it works. It's accessible. It's repeatable. Most people quit healthy routines not because they don't care, but because the routine is too heavy, too complicated, too expensive, too unrealistic. 6 walnuts take seconds to eat, don't disrupt your schedule, and don't require a recipe or overhaul. Yet they deliver a clear nutritional signal. Support is arriving. When this signal repeats at the same time every day, your body starts to organize around it. The body thrives on rhythm. Feed it something supportive consistently, and it learns to use that input efficiently. Then a simple walnut transforms from a snack into part of your internal structure. Compare this to many health trends. Intense fasting, complex meal plans, supplement overload. They may work short-term, but they rely on pressure, not behavior. A small daily habit leans on consistency, and consistency doesn't need motivation. It only needs good design. When a habit is easy to start, repeat, and remember, it sets the stage for long-term success. The simpler the habit, the easier the body can respond. No confusion, no noise, just a repeated message that reinforces itself. 6 walnuts every morning. No negotiation, no stress. From a behavioral standpoint, that's the sweet spot. Small enough to avoid resistance, meaningful enough for your body to respond. A perfect balance between effort and reward. Ultimately, lasting health doesn't come from extremes. It comes from relationship. The relationship you build with your body through what you do every day. Repetition, not perfection, shapes results. Simplicity isn't weakness, it's disguised strength. A habit small enough to repeat indefinitely becomes powerful enough to create real, lasting change. 6 walnuts each morning for 7 days may sound simple, but what it unlocks is far more meaningful. This isn't just a nutrition tip, it's a foundation. A starting point for restoring energy, focus, and balance in daily life. When the body receives a clear, steady signal like this, it doesn't hesitate, it responds. You're not forcing anything, you're inviting your system to realign, and it will, if given the chance. We encourage you to try it. 6 walnuts each morning for 1 week. No pressure, no drastic changes, just consistency. Notice how your sleep, digestion, and energy respond. Once you see those small shifts, share your experience in the comments. It may help someone else get started. Send this episode to a friend looking for a gentle way to feel better. And don't forget to subscribe to the Dr. Parker podcast. We bring real strategies, simple actions, and lasting results. Thank you for joining us. Stay mindful, stay steady. We'll see you again very soon.